Well, hello, welcome back to the grind. And anybody new? Hello there, welcome to the grind. Here I am. It's my, what do you call this? It's a 1976 BMW 2002. Been working on for a while, and this week quite a bit of action. Look at that, I got a whole list of stuff here. I did the rubber seal in the trunk. Hey, that's done. Or the boot. Cleaned up the front windshield. Like I got the front windshield cleaned up and took it into a glass place, and sadly it's got too big a bruise in it, so I have to find a new one somewhere. We'll figure that out. So I repaired the door cards. They're hidden back here. Had to do a bunch of fiberglass repair on the back side of those things. You know how they get worn out or water damaged at the bottom and all that. And then sound deadener on the floor underneath. But look, I got the carpet all cleaned up, and then I like cleaned it up, then let it dry out, and then I've got it underneath. There is that you know, the floor insulation stuff, and then got that all installed. Then they installed the locking mechanism for the front hood, the engine bonnet. So, and that's about it. That's, you know, I don't know what else. Maybe a couple of little things. Oh yeah, I did a thing on the 3D printer to fill up one of the holes underneath where the gas pedal goes. There's a place where a rubber seal or something goes in there, but I filled it up with I printed up a thing on the 3D printer. It seems to work. Okay. Anyhow, stick around. You can see it all, and or else, you know, you missed it all. You can just whatever you like. Okay, I'll see you next time. Please enjoy it, and make sure like, subscribe, and tell all your friends, because they might like it too. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also got the this locking, whatever you call that is, a locking thing all the way around that window, and that was a challenge. So that window is completely installed now. I left you in the lurch last time because I didn't have this little silver thing to go around it yet. But here it is now, and I've got the proper tool for installing it. And so it all seems to locked in there okay, and it feels all right. So I think we're done with the back window. Oh, I don't know where all that steam is from. Maybe exhaust. I guess exhaust blowing up this way, eh? Oh, look. Don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna let it warm up for a little while, and just move it back a bit into the shed, so I have room for the golf cart, which I should put in here soon. But that thing there is in the way. That's the Porsche. Oh. Anyway, let that thing warm up and run for a little while. It hasn't run for quite a while, and it's good for it to get some running. Yeah, so I decided that I needed to be able to see that workbench again. Now it's all cleaned up. And in the other tent over there, behind that wall, I've got the golf cart put into there, and the big car moved back a bit, and things are tidied up in the yard a little bit so that it's ready for winter, and close down that tent. Now here I'm going to do, what am I doing? Just a little bit of work on this car, because it's 4 o'clock already, so not much time left in the day. But I think I'll put this is the sealing thing for the trunk, or the bonnet, or the boot. The boot, is that what it is? Anyhow, back here. The seal to go around underneath here. So I'll put that in and see how that works out. I think you have to glue it in with that glue stuff, which is okay because I've got lots of that. Well, I hope I do. And then this window, I'm still waiting for this locking thing to come along and see if that locks in. See if it's good. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, so this thing here, the seal for the trunk, it just fits on this little ridge along here, all the way around. And what I'll do is I'll get it on in place, and then I'll dab a bit of glue here, dab a bit of glue here, dab a bit of glue there, here, there, and everywhere, and that should hold it down, especially at the corners. And the other thing is, it's got to go behind that thing there, which is the spring-loaded thing, which is that's a challenge. Here, I'll show you how I do the other one. I did one. I'll go on the other side and do the other one. If I can get over there. And next thing you know, I'll have to. Next thing you know, I'll be. I need to get this box out. Next thing you know, I'll be hurting myself with it because it's heavy duty, spring loaded. Well, I think this wrench is pretty near done. I didn't know these were supposed to wear out. Am I looking in the right place? Sort of. Let me get you turned around right here. There, how about that? Is that better? There's a nut, lock washer, and like a fender washer. And if you just pull down on it a little bit, then you can get that to come out and hang on to it here. Get this up behind it. And if you're lucky and hold your teeth right, you can get this guy back together. The other side went together pretty nice and easy. This side's not so great. Trying to do it without hurting myself too badly. No, it's not in there far enough yet. There we go, it's on that shoulder. Don't know why that works sometimes and sometimes doesn't. Okay, I'll work on this and show you how I get along. There, I've got that all the way around on the lip, and it seems to be seated reasonably well. I taped it in a number of spots, like here on the corners and anywhere in a low spot where it needed to be. Now, I'm not going to glue it tonight. I'm just going to close the lid and let it settle for the night. See what happens if I close it. I think it needs to be down a bit more, to make that seal. So I'll adjust the lid to make it go down a bit more, and then I'll close it again. Yeah, so this part here is solid. The adjustment's up here at this end of it. On this, you loosen those, I don't know, can you see? 2 bolts there, 1, 2, and then push that up to make it go deeper, right? Well, that sounds solid, and that sounds good. Okay, gonna leave that overnight, and then tomorrow I'll come and do some work on it. Like, it still has to be adjusted a little bit. I think that line there lines up pretty nice. And that line there lines up pretty nice. So maybe we'll be happy with the way it is. I think it's a little bit farther over this way, but the body line is good, right? And this body line, pretty good. And over on this side, like this body line here is right on, and that looks about the same. So I think we're good. I think it's adjusted fairly nice. sort of a half a finger there. And maybe a tiny bit more here, maybe not. I think I'm going to be happy with it the way it is, because I could fight with it and never get it any better. So there. Okay, that's enough for today. Today was mostly cleaning it up so I can make a mess again, right? It's so nice to be able to have a nice clean spot that you can make a mess on. And also this is the this came off of the old fender, and this is one of the things for tying down the engine bonnet. The other side has got, this is a new fender, so it's got to have that installed. The other side is the old fender, so it's already there. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, dark o'clock and it's raining. Yeah, now I've got, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got that tent closed down, and used to be that golf cart was sitting there. So anyway, cleaned it up. Oh, more glass. Hey, this is on what is it, 1976 BMW. Now it's got a sticker over here from somewhere in British Columbia. Province of British Columbia, 1982. Oh, it had a motor vehicle inspection in 1982. Cool. Don't know if it ever had to have another one. Maybe there was another sticker here. Don't know what that sticker is, and don't know what that sticker would have been. Anyway, get the tape off it. This got bashed on the highway coming back from Ontario, sadly. I got to clean it all off, take it into a glass repair place, and see if that can be repaired. Okay. Except for that bruise right there, it's in good shape. Well, fairly good shape. I think it's original to the car because there was a sticker here that said a bunch of stuff in German and ready to fall off of there, so I just got it off. And then the 1982 sticker over there for the inspection. That's really something. Okay, I'll take it in and see if I can get that fixed. Yeah, sadly the windshield was not repairable at the glass place, so I've ordered, or trying to find a new windshield for it. So in the meantime, these things here need to be fixed up. So this, you see how this is somewhat past its prime. So I'm going to run, I wonder what those holes are for. Likely nothing. I'm going to run some fiberglass from down here to about here somewhere. But first, I'll get them cleaned up. There's lots of water got in there somewhere. But mostly that's not bad. I don't think it's seriously hurt. That might be, that's a hole for, those are holes for these things here. I've got to find some of them. I think I have some. Anyway, let's see what I can do. Yeah, looks like a job for spray 9. We're on the spray side. See if I can get some of the grime out of it. Usually it works all right. Not bad for the first go. I'll carry on and I'll do it again. Same thing. See if I can get it into this area here a little bit better. And then clean up the other one. Then I'll have a look at how to fiberglass them up. Yeah, there, I've got it peeled off pretty good on the other side. I'll run a thing of fiberglass right along here and sort of bring that back down to level, I hope. That thing there just pulled back and that's all set to go. So I'll bring the other one over and clean it up and then get it ready for fiberglass. Yeah, there's side number 2 ready to get some fiberglass on it. Side number one done. This one here is not as in bad shape as the other one. I'll check this size of hole here and make sure I know what size. I think it's 1/2 inch, right? No, it's not 1/2 inch. It's smaller than 1/2 inch. Try that one there. That one's pretty close, but I think a bit smaller yet. Go down to that one there is free. So it must be this one here. Yeah, that feels good. So I'll recut the holes with this bit here. Remember this 7/16. Yeah, 7/16. Well, everybody knows that, right? Okay. All right, now I'll clean off the desk here because I'll clamp it down onto that. Put plastic underneath, then the fiberglass stuff, and then clamp it down with a board on top. Plastic over that, plastic over this stuff, and a board on top so that it all holds together. Yeah, so this got a couple of boards, right, and the plastic stuff. So I'll mix up some resin, put it on here. Yay. Yeah, that'll work. I only want to put it onto about here, but this I have to turn the other way around. Okay, do that. Oh yeah, okay, cleaning off the lens. There, now, fiberglass resin, bucket. Now 16 ounces is about a 1/2 liter. So it says on here, 10 milliliters of hardener for 1 liter of resin. So I've got my thing here, so 5 milliliters of hardener, which is right there, into that 16 ounces. So I'll mix that up, and then it's not a big emergency fast stuff, but it does harden. And so I'll first put a good coat of resin down on here. Then I'll put the 1 layer of stuff on, put a coat of resin, 2nd layer of stuff on, put a coat of resin, then squish it all together, put plastic over it and squish it all together. See how it turns out. Okay, time to get messy. Wonder where this is. Gotta go over this way a bit more. Oh. From about there. Can you see that hand? Yeah, to about there. Okay, now I just get a brush. Rubber glove time. And this stuff here, just slap it on. Don't be scared of it. Whoops. Don't get it all over the place too badly. And I've got this plastic underneath it here because that has to be there. Try not to get it on anything that you don't want stuck together. But I've done this before and it works pretty good for door panels, especially like old ones like this that are water damaged and everything. Okay, so that's 1 layer down. I want this layer of stuff on from there to there. Now I want this layer. Then you just start dabbing, because if you start brushing with stuff, it'll lift it up. And I'm making you shake around there, but that's okay. I did a boat a while ago, and it turned out pretty good. It's still floating, so must be okay. Now I'll put this piece on. And this piece I'm just going to put it right to the edge of the bottom here. Fiberglass won't stick. This resin, this is a polyester resin, so it won't stick to plastic. Now I think that epoxy resin will stick to plastic, so this is good for using with polyester. Now I'm going to just reinforce this corner with this. And I might as well just reinforce this corner with this. Because the corners take the most of the brutality. Now I've got that on my fingers, right? Pretty close to the right amount of stuff. And you just hold your plastic over it. Now I'll get some clamps and clamp that up. These aren't technically the right clamps to use, but they sure work okay. I think that's good. Now just wait till tomorrow, that'll be all hardened up and you're ready to go. Now I'll just wait till tomorrow, that'll be all hardened up. I want to put another bit of a support underneath there so it's got the right angle to it. Yeah, I just put like a 2-inch support underneath here so that's lifted up and then it won't be like that when I'm done, right? Okay, so that's going to take overnight to dry, so or to harden, and this thing here can just go in the garbage because it's not going to ever be useful again. And where am I now? No, tomorrow I'll come and do that one. Okay, back on. This stuff here hardened overnight. It's not completely hard yet, but hard enough. Anyhow, I'll just snip off the excess all the way along here. Don't know how much of this you want to watch, but pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Sometimes I can use a grinder just to buzz this off, but I don't want to get too much into the grinder on this because I'm liable to cut too close to the wick. Anyway, that's coming. I'll show you when I'm done. Yeah, now I have to make all those holes for everything. 7/16. I'm just drilling right through to the wood. Okay. Didn't seem to bond very well to that cardboard, but I think it'll be all right once I get this over it and glued down, or not glued, or stapled down. We'll give it a try. See how that looks on the other side here. Now those holes look like they'll be all right. Maybe I'll just give them a little punch through here. Okay, now I'll go ahead and see if I can get the fabric on there again. And we'll do the same thing for the other one, just leave it overnight. Where are you looking at? Somewhere down below there, right? Okay, here I'm going to bring the fabric over. Take my tape off of this. I'm taking the tape off the other side here. You didn't see it happen? It didn't happen here. Okay. Let's see if we can get this back on here. And looking good. Now I have a stapler that should go through this. It seems to be all okay. I wonder if I should put those, what I have for these white things here. Should we put them in now or later? I think it doesn't matter, eh? I'll put them in later. I'll get this thing here stapled on, that way there's nothing in the way. And then this just about got fiberglass to itself, okay? Okay, let me find my stapler. Looking anywhere near? Yeah, so here, this is a stapler. I bought this when I was doing the roof of the Volkswagen van. And you can use any size staple in it, like just, you know, bang, bang, bang staples. And these are 8mm ones. And that seems to work. I'm going to put them back where they were, right? Before. Okay, let's just check and see what's happening on the other side before I get too carried away with that. Yeah, you can see where they're just poking through there. Maybe I better put a something less solid on this side today. Or no, that'll be all right. They'll unpoke. That'll be good. They will stay. See how we're doing. See if we're all poking through or not. Yeah, there's a few poking through. Well, I'll show you. Well, they're backing off all right because they're just right at where they might poke through. You can feel that one there because it's on the edge of it. But mostly they're all right. Okay, I'll carry on. I'm going to go up these sides here in a minute or two. I'll give it a couple of extra staples over it. Yeah, maybe not. I think that's likely more than enough. Once it's held tight, it's good. I'll go over on this side here as much as I can. Okay, so that's all looks back to like new condition. You can see there's a couple of pokey holes through there, but those will sort of back off and fill in. I'm not worried about them. Now I can use another go with the spray 9, but mostly that looks pretty good, and I'll be able to get those things for locking it to the door on there soon. Okay, now I guess it's time to go do the same thing on the other one. Yeah, there, that's glassed up, and now I'll what do you call that? I'll go ahead and get the board on there, plastic it over, get the board on it, and clamp it down. Here, you see. Want to see? I don't know if I showed you this yesterday, did I? Get these scissors out of the way. More gloves. It's always sticky work. Sticky work, this is. But it works pretty good for fixing up these door cards because they're 50 years old. Lots of clamps. More clamps the merrier. Oh yeah, there's a good reminder. If you want to record, press the button. Okay, so I burst this bubble right here. That's going to drip into the garbage can. Fine. And then a little bit of a burst right there too, but that's okay. So leave a little bit of slack in this end so it'll catch that stuff. Anyway, but don't think it really matters. So leave this overnight, let it harden up, and see how it looks tomorrow. Always wear rubber gloves when you're around this stuff. Yeah, no. Clippy things. That. That one there is an original. You see that? Yeah. And these are what I have for replacements. But you see, you have to, it's a solid disc at the top. So, throw it away, Norton. That's a good idea. Okay. That's, I don't know, you can see that I got that cut out. So when you cut it out, then you can thread it into the hole. We hope. Yeah, see, that's in. That's should work. We don't know for sure. One more to go down here. Just get it started and use a pair of pliers to turn it in there. We'll hope it works. That one there was kind of poking through, so that's good. Another one of the old ones. Put that out of there. Old and rusty. Okay. Anyway, this door here may be ready to go. We'll just see. Hopefully it works. I'll try and do the same on the other door tomorrow. Or tomorrow when that thing hardens. Okay. Okay, now let's see about getting this thing here glued down so it stays. Right? I've got my gloves, I got the glue. Okay. I laid a bead of glue in here and in here and over here. And then I pulled them apart so they can set, we hope. And then I'll give it about 10 minutes and stick them back together and see how it works out. There now, I have this thing here down on, seems to be holding, seems to be sticking. So what I'm going to do now, and this part here seems to be sticking from here to here, and then this part is sticking from here to here. So I'm going to just close the lid, let it set overnight, and then I'll do some more again tomorrow. Or one bit at a time. Yeah, that's enough for today. I have enough. And there's lots of fumes in here from all that glue, so I think I'll get out of here. Okay, so I trimmed up along the edge of this, and then I kind of ground it off with the sanding wheel, whatever you call that, flapper disc. Now I'll just knock this stuff down to it. That got a bit of, maybe I won't notice it. No, it's not noticeable. A little bit of a lump in it there, but that's all right. And this will just sort of go back on where it was. I'll flip it over and we'll staple it together again. Okay. Oh, whoops, getting a bit ahead of myself. I have to drill all these holes out, don't I? Okay, let me just flip it back and we'll see if I can drill those holes out. There we go. Door card number 2. Like there's a little bit of a nick in it right there from before, but I'm not going to even worry about that. And you can see a couple of these staples they protruded along this side here, and 2 of them protruded on this side here. But along the bottom it all came out pretty nice. Okay, that's I'm happy with that. It'll look good when it's in the car. Now, next on the list is back to the trunk lid, maybe, eh? Okay. Yeah, I got a bit ahead of myself, so these things here had to be put in before I could abandon this project. I might have missed a hole there, maybe not, who knows. Hopefully that one's, there's 2 holes to choose from. I think it's this one. If it's wrong, we'll figure it out. Yeah, so all this stuff that I glued down is glued down tight. Now around here, need to do some, like from here to here it needs it. So I can do that, right? And then from about here to there it needs it. So we can do that. And then up here at the top on each corner we need it, and along the back here. But I'm not worried about the back yet. First I'll get this done. That corner done. That end done. Then I'll maybe tackle these 2 corners up here. Okay. Okay, glued. It's from right here, glued all the way around to about right there, glued. So I'm just gonna let that set for a while. Then I'll see if I can get the backside glued. Yeah, I finally got these things into the proper place everywhere, and I just put a screw in there to hold it from unbacking off. But I got to put seam sealer around it too, and that should solve it. So the next thing I got to do in here, I think, is I'll put some of that stuff on the sound deadener stuff around, and then I'll put the carpet in, because the carpet's got to go in before all this side stuff goes in up here. And then once the carpet's in, then I can go ahead and put all the sides together and maybe put the instrument, like there's a console down here, and that'll give me a chance to get all that ignition stuff up out of the way and stuff like that. So I think that's next on the list here. Yeah, there's that brush on seam sealer stuff on all 3 of them. So that should make it fairly good. Then the next thing I want to do is measure. There's a hole underneath that. I'll show you. I'll lift it up and I'll show you. Okay, hang on. Going up. Yeah, this is where the clutch pedal or the brake pedal and the gas pedal are on here. And for some reason it's got this inspection site here. I don't know why. But I want to go and I'll make a thing on the 3D printer that'll kind of fit that, maybe. Wonder if I made... What I'll do first is I'll just measure it here to here. Then I'll make up a mock-up thing on the 3D printer and see what I can come up, see what it works out like. Okay, I'm at it again, back at it. Remember the other day I cleaned up this thing? That goes there, right? Then these parts go here. I found them, one there and one there. Pretty sure that's the right way around. Then this bit here goes on, and it has this that catches that, perhaps. We think that's the way it works. We'll just see. Then these parts here, like that's pretty sad, but they go here. There's holes there and one hole here. Another hole should be here somewhere. I'll make it. And then what else goes on? These bits, like this I found, but it only has one screw with it. I don't know where the other screw is. We'll look around, find it. Must be in here somewhere, because most of these, if I dig deep enough, I usually find the bits I need. Anyway, I also was able to make this thing on the 3D printer. That's just gonna fit up into that hole, and I'll hold it in there. Like maybe I'll put a little bracket on it to hold it, and also put silicone on it to seal it. We'll see how it fits in the hole, and if it does, that's great. If it doesn't, I'll remake it, because it only takes about 10 minutes to print that. Okay, this thing here fits in that. Can you see that? Yeah. Fits right in there, so I'll get some silicone, put it around the edge, throw it up there and let it dry on, let it harden, and see what happens. Yeah, I just used some ultra black on that and stuck it in there, see how it works out. Take 24 hours to harden. I'll see if it'll pull out of there again, and if it does, I'll figure out some sort of bracket to hold it. Okay, these things here that hold these two tabs, which are kind of sad, they hold the this bracket up to here. So those two holes over there and these two holes over here make it fit into there. Now, I've cut a couple of, let's put this down. I cut two pieces of this stuff here, just pieces of metal, and painted it up so that it can sit on the back of this and give it a little bit of support, and maybe it'll last for a few years or less. We'll see. Anyhow, but I'm going to, what'll I do? Will I glue them on there to start with? Yeah, maybe that'd be a good thing to do. Glue them on, and then I'd be able to, because they go underneath this part here, right? So, see if that'll work. If not, I can reach my hand in here, and I'm pretty sure I can reach my hand in there. Maybe I'll just put them in without that, and I'll just reach my hand in and see if I can get them up into place, and then put some screws in them. Okay, this side goes over there, and I need to get a washer for here and a clippy thing for there, which I should have. Okay, got this box full of clippy things. Found one, fits on there, and I found a washer, fits on there. So that's great. Stainless steel washer too. Wow, how do you like that? Fancy stuff. Okay. Yeah, so that stuff's all on there now and pretty tight. So this, when that, see that turns like that when it pulls, and that catches on this thing right here, and that pulls the hood down. Okay, so I think I've got that right. I think I've got these backwards. I'll see what happens if I turn them around the other way. Oh, pointy finger there. See that thing over there? That's the only way it'll go on there. So it's got to catch that somehow or other. I'm not really sure how it catches the this thing here. Maybe, oh yeah, it's down far enough. Maybe it just pushes on it as it goes down. I don't know for sure. Like this thing here has got to turn like that, and it catches this right here, and with this hooky thing, and then these parts here have to catch this thing here somehow or other. But I guess don't really know where they sit when they come down here. Oh yeah, they're up over here, so that thing's going to turn and just catch that curve there, and that holds that tight at the right height here. If I had had that on, I might not have scratched the paint there. Oh well, there we go. Yeah, so Amazon guy came, and this is a tool for putting that stuff there into the back window. Now I've got this for the front window, and I got a seal for the front window. Only need the glass. That's we'll check into that later on. One Stuick, right? Anyway, now this thing here, it says to use soapy water and stuff like that. But first, before I do all that, I'm going to trip over the cords. Clean this up in here, and then I can put some of that sound deadener stuff in. So I'll get to cleaning. Yeah, there's one side done. pretty clean. Now gonna do that side over there. After and before. Okay, I'll go and get after the other side. Yeah, there, that's all cleaned up, washed up, and I'll let that dry until tomorrow, and then I'll put some of that stuff on. So I might take a look at getting this locking strip into here now. I still have to do the glue on the trunk. I'm aware of that. We're getting there, one thing at a time. So I've got it started along here. I don't know, like this isn't in properly down here, you can tell. That just pops out. So that's got to come back out. I think it's in right here. So just a matter of getting it in here. Lots of soap. Soap is your friend here. And it seems to like burr the thing up when you're putting it in. I don't know if that's me or it or whatever. But down here it's in a couple of spots. Here it's not quite in as tight as it could be, but down here it is. I think I can use a picky thing to get that pushed in there. This corner went in good. Well, so I'll show you a bit what I'm doing. Yeah, right around there. So first off, soap. And then try to get the soap in there, right? Then you just poke that thing in there and get it at the right angle. Like it's not quite right there. Oh well. Get it about the right angle. And it slides pretty good when you get it at the right angle, but then you lose the angle all of a sudden and everything's gone to hell. I think that's going in all right up here. Down here it needs to be a picky thing to get it in there. See, that's not going in. I'm gonna back that off. Put it there somewhere. Try it again. I think it's going in up here, but I can't tell. Hard to see. Now down to here, it's in along here, but it's got to be redone up to here. Just about went in. Seems to be going. Yeah, not bad. Right here, it's got to use a picky thing to get it in right there, but well, seems to be going along. I don't know. It's not easy. And everything everybody says is easy, but it's not. Anyway, I'll carry along and let you know how I make out when I get it done. Well, now I've got it around here, and like there's a bit here I'll have to use a picky thing to get that seated right. A bit there. Up away a little bit, tiny bit right there, and the way over to there, it's all seated in pretty good, and I think that locks the window in well. So anyway, I'm getting frustrated with it, so I'm going to leave it for tomorrow. I've been across this section here about 4 times already, maybe 5 times, and it's in now in properly. And I'm just trying to make this corner. So I've made the corner down to about here, maybe 3 times already, but every time it's not right. So anyway, I'll come back tomorrow and try some more. Yeah, so here's a good question. How do the guys at the glass places make any money doing this kind of stuff? because it sure is time consuming. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, so finally I got it around this corner and got it tucked in right. Seems to be pretty good. Might be down here. I guess it's all right. Down along there. No, this part here still needs to be tucked in better. So right to here it's good. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get that tucked in better down there. Yeah, that bit there. Right to here. Don't want to pull that out again because that was difficult to get that in there. Okay. Now these little bits, like the little bit right there, you can go with the picky thing, this thing here, and just get underneath it and pull it out. Like that. That gets it up onto it. And the same on the other side. But then this, I don't know, can you see all that? Difficult it is, but it does work. I really should have 2 hands on it. I'll do it with 2 hands and I'll show you the end. Yeah, there. See, that's in the groove there now. A little bit right there needs to be pushed in a bit better, but I'll get that after a while. So, got around this corner. That was the most difficult thing, getting it seated in there. Now see if I can get it to seat down here. Doggy's in here with me today, making whining noises. That's okay. Now going around the corner is the hardest bit. See, now that bit there isn't in yet, but I'm going to leave it set there for a while so it gets the shape, and then I'll pull it back and do it again from maybe about here down. Okay. Yay! I've got it in all the way around. That's a that is a feat in itself. Now this, I got to pick this out of there, and a little bit right there to fix. A little bit right in the middle there to fix. I gotta get the ladder for that. See if there's anywhere else that needs fixing. I think it's all in pretty good everywhere. Yeah, just that bit right in the middle. Huh. Cool. Well, that is satisfying. I think I have the window in. And this thing is tight. That's not as tight on that side as it is on this side, but we'll be happy with it tight on this side here. I think it's in solid. I don't think that'll come out. Take my little white marks off there. There. Now, the impossible has been done. Now that was only like 5 days work. Well, actually 4 days of work to get that in there. So I really don't know how those guys that do it for, you know, a living can make a living out of it. Anyway, that's good enough. We'll I just have to tuck this bit in. You'd take it about an 1/8 inch longer than what it is, and then try and tuck it in there, because the thing will shrink after a while. Okay. Yeah, there. That's all together. Now I'll just see if I can fix. There's one spot there, one spot there. See if I can fix those. This one over here. Tripping over myself. Like the window will push in a bit more there, the whole thing. So I put some WD in behind here and just pushed on it for a bit, and it seems to be going in. Maybe I'll put the strap back on there and just let that settle for a bit, right? But let me finish. Yeah, that's coming better now. Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, there. I finished up the windows in. A little bit ragged down here, and a couple of these rubber things poking out. Not perfect there, but everywhere else is pretty good. I'm happy with it. Right here, this could be tucked in a bit better right there. Maybe I'll work on that after a while. Now, there's the first chunk of that stuff in there. I think I'll put it underneath the floors in here and up against the wall in there, and that's all it needs, eh? We'll see. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I've got this sill seal or whatever you call that stuff down. It's just peel and stick that stuff. It goes on really nice and easy, and I've got a spreader thing there that presses it into the edges. Be careful that you don't split the like you see right over, I don't know if you can see it, but right over there, I'll try zooming it into it. There's a split. I'll put another little piece of the stuff over the top of that, because the tin foil will keep the water from seeping through and getting to the bottom. Hey, okay, okay. Well, I'll just carry on. But next, I've got this carpet cleaner here. I'm gonna put the car up, and then I'll lay out the carpet down here and clean it. Yeah, working on the carpet, and between this machine, and it's got shampoo stuff in it, and Spray 9 heavy duty, it's actually coming cleaner. Not, not perfect, but you see over here how ugly and dirty that all is in there, and then down in there. Over this side, it's it's not exceptionally great, but it's not bad. This was absolutely black in here, and it's come out pretty nice. And this stuff up here was full of all sorts of stains and little picks like that there, which is just grease stuff. So it's coming along, hours and hours of it, right? It's not going to be an immediate clean, but it's actually getting better. So I'll carry on cleaning it up. Oh, shut that off. Okay, there's been cleaned. Like, it's old and discolored, but clean. Down here hasn't been cleaned yet. You see all this along here? I'll show you after I clean it. Actually comes out pretty good. I'm reasonably pleasantly surprised. A lot better than I thought it would be when I started, but the Spray 9 I think makes a big difference. Mind you, it is a bit foamy. Anyway, we'll keep on going. How much water is left in there? A little bit, enough to finish this side. Then I'll go refill the thing and rinse out the grubby part, and go from there. Here we go. I'll just show you the method that I'm using. So this will be noisy, so excuse the noise. I don't know if you remember, but that was just black with dirt before. It's still not perfectly clean, but awful lot better. When I finish doing this, which will be in maybe another hour or so, I'm going to take it into the shower in the house and give it a good rinsing, and then let it dry and see how it looks. I think that'll turn out to be a pretty decent carpet by then, because it's actually like all this, what do you call this stuff that's around here? It's there's a name for it in sewing world. I forget what it's called though. Anyway, it's all in pretty good shape. So I'll carry on losing my band-aid. That's where I grinded my knuckle yesterday. Do the other half, which is over here. That's the driver's side, and it should work okay. Then it's got the holes in it there for the whatever you call that thing, the oh dear me, gas pedal, where the gas pedal goes down through, and then we'll figure it out from there. Yeah, we'll see if this comes any cleaner. Eh? That's going to be a challenge to get all that out of there, but actually it's not that bad because it'll have what do you call that? I'll put a mat on top of it here. I changed my method a little bit. I take the bucket full of water over there with soap in it, and I just soak down the carpet here. Then I put the spraying iron on it, and then rough it in with this thing, which is just a, what do you call these, covering pad, or there's a name for them. 3M makes them. Anyway, carry on. Yeah, a couple hours later, and it's all done. Oh, I forgot that. Have to do that now. Okay, I'll do that, and then I'm going to take this in and put it in the shower. I wish it was warm enough out I could use a pressure washer. I'd just pressure wash it. But too cold for that. Turn into a block of ice, wouldn't it? Okay, but I'll take it in and throw it in the big shower and see if I can rinse it anyhow. Yeah, it's all wadded up over there. I'm going to take it in the house and do what I can in there about rinsing it and let this floor dry out. Just leave everything as it is for today. That'll be fine. Okay, see you later. Yeah, here's one of those things you shouldn't show your wife, right? Anyway, that's done and rinsed off, and then I'm going to let it drip out of there before I take it away. Okay, there we go. Okay, this happened overnight. It's starting to warm up now and it's starting to melt off, but well, let's see what I can accomplish. It's a late start here today, and I think that after today it'll be, whoa, dark in here. There we go. Turn on some light. That's out of the shower. Actually, it came out pretty clean. This is all discolored underneath there, but that's covered up by the center console and stuff. I wonder what color it was originally. Who to say? It might be this color here. Yeah, maybe that color. Lots of colors available. Anyhow, what I'll do today is put some more of that tin foil down on the floor and just sort of rough fit this and see how it looks in there. See if it actually is going to go into it, and then that'll be good. Yeah, okay, so this stuff here is incredibly easy to install. It just peel and stick is all it does. So the next piece I want to put in is like right up there, like that. If I did that, that's about right there. Maybe cut this, yeah, cut this over to here and then down to here, and then that whole piece can just fit in there, and this little piece that's left over can go in there. See how that works. A little bit dark in here, but here's the piece I've got cut out. Now what I do is just take this bit here and peel it off. About that much. Fold it backwards. then get this where you want it to be, right? Approximately. And then if it overlaps a little bit, it doesn't matter because it doesn't, there's no real width to it, eh? And I've got a thingy here, there it is, this thing here. And that other piece left over, I'll just stick right in like that. That there. That'll just, it'll overlap a bit, but doesn't matter. Remember I talked about the little cuts I made in earlier? Right there. Whoops. Right there and right there, and I just put another little patch over the top of them and they're fine. Okay, there's that one in, down to here. Now I'll just put, see how I've got the other side there, see how I've got that done. I'll make this the same. And that's all it's going to get. Yeah, that should work all right. Fairly easy. Now I'm just going to put the carpet right on top of that and see how that, I'm just going to rough fit it in here today. It'll need to be glued in later along the sides here, I think, and along around the back or somewhere. We'll just see how it sets. Now I have to take the gas pedal off to be able to get the carpet on. Yeah, that's easy. It's just held by these two little things in here that I built them earlier. Right there, those, can you see that? Yeah. Them, I just took a couple of bolts and rounded out the tops so that they would sit there like that. We hope they're going to be good. They are adjustable up and down because of the way I made them. So we'll just see how this works out with the carpet. See how this works out now, hey? Well, there. Carpet's just sitting in there, but it actually came out pretty nice. That's fairly clean, and you don't notice all the difference in colors when it's all in there like that. Maybe the original color was something around that color there. I don't know, but we'll be happy with the color that it is right now. That'll be fine. Seems to fit all right. Needs to be glued along here, glued along there. This sets free. Oh, I'll get that piece for the back here. Hang on. Here it is here. This goes underneath here like that, eh? And this gets glued on here. Something like that. Anyway. Yeah, there you go. The back bit's on there. It sort of just sits on there, right? And everything else fits into its little place. Okay, that's about it for this week. I'm going to cut it off here. I'll get the carpet and everything installed next week, finished installing, and then we'll see where we go from there. That goes up to there, and that one there is a little bit long. We'll figure that out as we go along. And then once I get this done, I'll put the seat belts in the back, and we've got to clean them up. But I'll put the seat belts in the back here, wherever they're supposed to go. Oh, here they are, right? I don't know where they're supposed to go. Figure out the electricity for the back window, which is done. So what did we get done here this week? We did, I forget now. Back window, finished this bit here, right? Interior. What did I do in there? You know what? I have to check my footage. So I'll put in the description everything that happened, and we'll figure that out. Because I'm going to have to look and see everything that's on this video here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it all, and come on back for more next week. See you then, perhaps. Yeah, so it had to happen sometime, hey? Doggies in the... Found something smelly over there. Uh-oh. Got a roll in it. Anyway, snow. Pretty good blow of snow last night, and then it's windy now and warm, so this will melt sometime, maybe. Went through with the blower and cleaned off my path down to the bench, pretty close anyhow. Looks like it's pretty wavy out on the bay there. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so now the sun's decided to come out, right? Getting down close to the bench. I don't come down this far with the snow blower, but it's getting kind of slushy underneath, so I think I'll just walk to the bench today. Maybe I'll go across, and yeah, that'll be fine. Fine for today. Anyway, first snow of the season. I usually don't get this till sometime closer to Christmas, and it's only December 3rd, I think, today. Oh well, early winter, right? And there's the path doesn't look too bad down to the beach. But I think we'll just stop here today and go back up. This is where my territory ends today.